Hello friends, in this lecture we are going to discuss about the factors influencing drug absorption. Basically, we are going to discuss this pharmaceutical factors affecting drug absorption. Now, for desired therapeutic objective, pharmacological response, the drug product must deliver the active drug at an optimal rate. The systemic delivery of the drug can be varied. So these absorption factors that depends on various factors. These factors can be explained pharmaceutical factors and patient-related factors. So these patient-related factors are also known as biological factors. Okay, and the pharmaceutical factors again classified into two types, that is physicochemical properties of the drug substance and dosage form characteristics and pharmaceutical ingredients. Now the chain of the events that occur following administration of a solid dosage form. So there are four steps are there. This is first one, second, third, and fourth. First step is disintegration of the drug product, and the second one is deaggregation and subsequent release of the drug, and the third one is dissolution of the drug fluid at the absorption site. And the fourth one is absorption, that is the movement of the dissolved drug through the GI membrane into the systemic circulation. And the most important thing, unless the drug goes into solution, it cannot be absorbed into the systemic circulation. So means in this, for better absorption, the drug must be in solution form. Then only it can be absorbed or transferred through the GI membrane. The drug may also dissolve before disintegration or deaggregation of the dosage form and before or after reaching the absorption site. The rate at which the drug reaches the systemic circulation is determined by various steps involved in the sequence. If any one of steps present in this sequence is slow, then it may cause the absorption process slow. Such a step is called as rate determining or rate limiting step. And the absorption from its dosage form can be influenced by a number of factors that can be explained as the biopharmaceutical factors in the dosage form design. Now, these biopharmaceutical factors in the dosage form design, they are also known as pharmaceutical factors. Okay, so these pharmaceutical factors are two types. First one is your physicochemical properties of the drug, and second one is dosage form characteristics and pharmaceutical ingredients. So these physicochemical properties of drug substances again subcategorized into different parts. That is, number one is drug solubility and dissolution rate, and number two is particle size and effective surface area, and number third is polymorphism and amorphism, and number fourth is pseudopolymorphism, that is hydrates and solvates form, and number fifth is salt form of the drug and lipophilicity of the drug and pK of the drug and GIT pH and drug stability, and the last one is stereochemical nature of the drug. These all the factors we will discuss in physicochemical properties of the drug substance which affect the rate of absorption. Now, another types of pharmaceutical factors is that is dosage form characteristics and pharmaceutical ingredients. We are adding the different types of excipients, the dosage form characteristics and pharmaceutical ingredients. This depends on disintegration time, dissolution time, manufacturing variables, pharmaceutical ingredients or excipients, and nature and type of the dosage form, and product age and storage conditions. Now, these pharmaceutical factors, in this first one is disintegration time. So this disintegration time is important in case of solid dosage form, where we are administering the tablets and capsules. If a solid dosage form does not disintegrate, it means the absorption process may be insufficient because the subsequent process of dissolution will be much slower and absorption may be insufficient. So rapid disintegration is important in the therapeutic success of the solid dosage form. So this disintegration time of tablet is directly related to the amount of the binder present and the compression force of the tablet. How much binder we are adding it directly correlated to its disintegration time. If we are adding more binder, then disintegration time will be more. Okay, and if compression force, we are applying more compression force, then in that case the hardness will be more. If the tablet hardness will be more, then disintegration time will be more. So if hardness is more, then it causes the slow absorption process. If we are adding more binder amount, then also it causes slow absorption process. Now the disintegration can be added by incorporating the disintegrants. If disintegration time is less, then we can add the more amount of disintegrants, so it can disintegrate the tablet faster. After disintegration of a solid doses form into granules, the granules must deaggregate into fine particles. Because the fine particles increases the surface area, and the finally dissolution rate will be increased. And if the dissolution rate will be increased, then finally the absorption of the drug into the systemic circulation will also increase. So this is very important factor affecting drug dissolution, because this drug dissolution is the single most important factor in the absorption of the drug from solid dosage forms. The dissolution factors is affected by manufacturing process and excipients. Okay, so first one we will discuss about the manufacturing process. Manufacturing process, how we are going to manufacture the tablets. So first thing is, it depends on methods of granulation. We know we are having three granulation techniques. In that, this wet granulation process is most conveniently technique, but this wet granulation techniques have some disadvantages or limitation. These are three limitations are there. First one is formation of crystal bridge by the presence of the liquid, and the second one is the liquid may act as a medium for affecting the chemical reactions such as hydrolysis. And the number third is the drying steps may harm the thermolabile drugs. So all these three processes, they causes the slow absorption process. So if we want the faster dissolution rate, then we can shift to this direct compression method. So this direct compression has been utilized to yield the tablets that dissolve at faster rate. Now another manufacturing process which may influence the absorption process, that is duration of blending, then method of blending, and time and temperature of granules drying. In this blending, duration of blending, there is no proper mixing of the ingredients is there, so content uniformity may take place, and finally it may affect the absorption process. Then the next one is compression force. This compression force employed in tableting process influence. Then the next one is the compression force. This compression force employed in the tableting process, it influences the dissolution rate. How we can understand this? If we are applying more compression force, then hardness of the tablet will be more, and density of the tablet will be more, and porosity will be decreased. So this porosity of the granules will decrease, then disintegration time will be more. If disintegration time will be more, then the dissolution rate will also be decreases, and finally it affects the absorption process. Because if we are applying more compression force, then hardness of the tablet may increase, and finally it affects the disintegration time. If hardness is more, then disintegration time will be more. If disintegration time is more, then dissolution will also decrease, and finally it may decrease the absorption process. Now intensity of packing of capsule contains, means capsule is completely filled or it is empty. It depends, it may affect the absorption process. So packing density of capsule can either inhibit or promote the dissolution process. If the capsule content is tightly filled, then diffusion of GI fluids into the tightly filled capsule creates a high pressure within the capsule, resulting in rapid bursting and dissolution of the contents. Its opposite also possible. So this packing intensity of capsule can either inhibit or promote the dissolution. Now the capsule with finer particles and intense packing have poor drug resolution rate. So means if capsule contain fine particles, then it may decrease the dissolution rate. How? Due to the decrease in pore size. If we are taking fine particles, then pore size will decrease and poor penetrability of GI fluids. So if fine particles are there, then porosity will be decreased, and porosity will be decreased means gap between the particles will be less. Then there it may causes it, then it causes the low penetration of GI fluids in the capsule content, and it causes slow disintegration. If slow disintegration is there, then dissolution will also be decreased. Now pharmaceutical excipients which affects the drug absorption. These pharmaceutical excipients are added into the dosage form to improve the quality of dosage form. A drug is rarely administered in its original or pure form. It has one or more excipients. The formulation contains a number of excipients. The excipients are added to ensure the acceptability of the drug or dosage form and the physicochemical stability during shelf life. Means to increase the stability of the drug, we are adding the excipients, and the uniformity of the composition and optimum viability, and to improve the functionality of the drug products. Means we can say we are adding these excipients into the pharmaceutical dosage form to improve the quality of the dosage form. Now these excipients can influence the absorption of drug. How it can affect the absorption of drug, we will discuss in further slide. So these are the commonly used pharmaceutical excipients and their influence on the absorption rate. So first one is vehicles. So we know vehicles we are adding in the liquid dosage form. Without vehicles, we cannot prepare this liquid dosage forms. Three types of vehicles are there, that is aqueous vehicles, non-aqueous water miscible vehicles, and non-aqueous water immiscible vehicles. If we are adding vehicles, that is aqueous or water miscible vehicles, they can miscible easily with the body fluids. So if we are using these two types of vehicles, then it causes the more absorption rate as compared to non-aqueous water miscible vehicles. Now the next one is diluents as a excipients in the dosage form. So we know the diluents we are adding into the dosage form to produce the necessary bulk or to increase the bulk of. So commonly used diluents are starch, lactose, MCC. So these are, so means if these diluents are hydrophilic in nature, then they can promote the dissolution rate of poorly soluble drug. And if these diluents are hydrophobic in nature, then it may decrease the dissolution rate or finally the absorption rate. Now binders and granulating agents. So these binders and granulating agents are used to hold the powders together to form a granules. So these binders and granulating agents, they may be two types, hydrophilic or hydrophobic. If we are using this hydrophilic binders, then it can promote the absorption or dissolution, and if we are adding these hydrophobic binders, then it can decrease the absorption process. So example of hydrophobic binder is ethyl cellulose. So large amount of such binders increase the hardness. If we are adding in the high concentration of these binders or granulating agent, it may increase the hardness. If the hardness increases, that increases the disintegration time and it decreases the dissolution rate. Now disintegrants. So disintegrants like MCC and starch, these disintegrants are added to tablet dosage form for faster disintegration. If disintegration time is more, then dissolution will be slow. And this can be modified by adding the more disintegrants. This disintegration time also depends on amount of disintegrants in the tablet dosage form. If we are using low quantity of disintegrants, then the disintegration time may be increases. If disintegration time increases, then finally it decreases the dissolution and absorption rate of the drug. Now the lubricants. So these lubricants are added to tablet dosage form to aid the flow of granules, to reduce the interparticle friction, and to reduce the sticking or adhesion of the particles to dyes and punches. So the commonly used lubricants are hydrophobic in nature and known to inhibit the wettability, penetrability of the water into the tablet and their disintegration and final dissolution. Means these lubricants are hydrophobic in nature, though they causes the poor wettability and low penetration of the water into the tablet, and the final disintegration time will be increased, and so the dissolution rate will decrease and the finally absorption rate will also. This is because of the disintegrants gets coated with the lubricant if blended simultaneously, which however can be prevented by adding the lubricants in the final stage. Means lubricant and another ingredients should not be mixed simultaneously. The lubricants should be added in the last process, just before going to compression process. The best alternative is use of soluble lubricants like SLS and carboxyls, which promote the dissolution rate. Now, next factor is coating as excipients. In general, coating decreases the dissolution rate. Enteric coated tablets have the very poor dissolution rate as compared to sugar coat, and sugar coat is having poor dissolution rate as compared to non-enteric film coated tablet, and dissolution rate is high in uncoated tablet. And another one is the dissolution profile of certain coating materials change on aging. Example of this is shellac coated tablets on prolonged storage dissolve more slowly in the intestine. Means on storage, this coating may cause the slow absorption process and the finally rate of absorption can be decreased. Now the next one is suspending agents. So these suspending agents are added in the liquid dosage form, basically in the suspension, to increase the viscosity of the medium so that it can stabilize the drug particles into the medium. And they can influence the drug absorption in several ways. First one is the gums often form unabsorbable complex with drugs. Example of this is sodium CMC forms a poorly soluble complex with amphetamine. And another one is the diffusion of drug from the dosage form into the bulk of GI fluid decreases because of the high viscosity. Because medium is viscous, so the drug particles will not come out easily from this medium because of high viscosity. Now the next one is surfactants. These surfactants are used as wetting agent, solubilizing agent, or emulsifying agent. They may enhance or retard the drug absorption either by interacting with the drug or the membrane or both. So this is the one example for surfactant which increases the absorption. If we are adding this surfactant, they may increase the solubility and wettability, and finally the more contact of the drug, the liquid form with the membrane, and absorption rate will increase. And the absorption process by the surfactants can be decreased if we are using in high concentration. They may form a drug methyl complex which decreases the absorption process. And another disadvantage of this is if we are using this absorption at high concentration, it may cause the laxative action. Now next one is colorants. So dye can reduce the absorption of crystalline drug. They absorb onto the surface of the faces. An example of this is brilliant blue retards the dissolution of sulfathiazole. So this we complete this pharmaceutical factors. Thank you.